Hello friends, today's our topic is organization of a hospital. Objectives: on completion of this period you would be able to learn meaning principles of organization. Introduction: having many layers of management, organizations stop working in very specific, done exactly and correctly. Being in a hospital is stressful regardless of whether you are there due to personal health problems or those of a loved ones. What's worse, the look, feel, and operations of a hospital can add to that stress and comfortable nature of the experience. With the new take on design and a bit of restructuring, hospitals can become a place of comfort rather than contempt. Hospitals around the world are making strides to enhance the design of facilities to feel more like home. These improvements include more space per patient, modern furnishing, and updated color palettes throughout. One worry is whether these improvements will sacrifice the level of safety at the facility. Hospitals are complex institutions dealing with not only patient care but also involved in R&D and professional education. Their main objective is to provide quality health care. Like an industry, hospital is an unique place where patients of all ages and background interact with physicians, therapists, pharmacists, nurses, pathologists, and administrators. Therefore, the organizational structure depends upon the activities going around the patient. Organizational pattern of a typical hospital. A typical hospital by its very nature is a physical plant created for the purpose of health care of the patients. Since its mission is health care, the functional department of clinical services is the most important division of a hospital. However, the clinical services division needs supportive services like pharmacy and nursing and administrative support of office. Suitable departments for pharmacy, nursing, and office and accounts administration are commonly found in all hospitals. The hospital being physical plant needs maintenance and safety. It also should have sound housekeeping. Maintenance head and housekeeping heads are given now a status equal to other departmental heads. The top management of hospital responsible for its overall policies and control is constituted by the governing board and the administrator. The administrator happens to be the chief executive of the hospital and may be designated as a director also. The heads of individual services are administratively responsible to the administrator. Organizational patterns of a typical hospital. What is a typical hospital structure? There are many different positions within a hospital's organization to make the facility operate properly. Typically, hospitals are set up with a hierarchical and divisional structure. The structure means various levels of staff ranging from high to low level positions are responsible for others within their respective divisions. While the hierarchical structure works well for accountability purposes, it can often create disconnect with any broken lines of communication throughout the organization. The outdated structure of healthcare has lasted for years because each piece of the organization completes a complicated puzzle. Each of other divisions operates in its own silo with little integration across the organization. This, among other downfalls such as fee for service payment methods, duplication of services, and lack of quality measures, leads to subpar patient care. The administrator is selected by the board to run the hospital. The board serves as a guide and counselor to him and leaves the nitty-gritty of day-to-day administration of the hospital to him. The board restricts itself to policy formulation. The administrator executes these policies. The administrator is a link between the board and the clinical services and between the board and all other employees. The administrator's job is onerous and requires delegation of matching authority to carry out his heavy responsibilities. The administrator attends the meetings of the governing body. He frames the overall administrative policies. He is privileged to attend the meeting of medical staff. The administrator is empowered to modify the internal organization of the hospital in response to current operating conditions. He is in charge of the admission and discharge of all patients. He does not interfere in the clinical activities of the hospital, but brings the lapses in conforming to overall policy of the hospital to the notice of Chief of Staff. The administrator is link between the board and the medical staff, and also between the board and all employees. The administrator ensures the compliance of legal formalities. He oversees the training of interns, student nurses, volunteers, and auxiliary workers. He ensures smooth running of the outpatient department. These days, training programs are available at several institutes in hospital administration. There are full-fledged postgraduate management courses in this discipline. Mostly persons with basic degree in science or medicine or pharmacy, followed by a course in hospital administration, are preferred these days. To be successful, he must not have only administrative ability, but an appreciation of clinical environment in which he has to practice, and an overall compassionate attitude. The board must realize that the responsibility of the administrator to the patient is a vital one, and second only to the relationship of the physician to the hospital. The patient surrenders himself to the hospital, and the symbol of the hospital is the administrator. He should therefore live up to the patient's utmost faith by doing everything for his safety and care. The administrator is an obligation to the clinical services. He has to provide facilities, equipment, and assistance so that the patient is restored to health optimally. The administrator exercises his personnel management powers of staffing and directing in consultation with the department heads. He is responsible to provide the employees a conducive work environment. The administrator prepares a budget for approval by the governing board. The administration is responsible for the interface with other institutions and enriches his own institution by borrowing ideas from others and contributes his own might to develop other related institutions. Organizational patterns of a typical hospital. A hospital administrative organization has the following administrative pattern: governing body, hospital administration, clinical services, administrative services, ambulatory services, nursing services, pharmacy services, committees, finance, executive, department, and public relation committee. Organizational pattern of a typical hospital. Governing body. The legal status of the hospital is due to a character or the parent body, a society, a trust, a company, etc. The powers derived from its legal status are exercised through a body called the governing body. It may be variously named: a board of trustees, board of governors, board of directors, commissioners, etc. The board assumes complete authority over and responsibility for the conduct of hospital staff and is responsible to the community or the beneficiaries it serves, either directly or indirectly through the parent body by which it was created. Formulation and implementation of policies and program influencing administrative and financial control. The most important duty of the governing body is to appoint an administrator. Through administrator, the governing body carries out its assigned functions. It represents a cross-section of community it serves. Generally, it has at least one voting physician member. He is accepted to giving interpretation to medical matters. Board members and members of the medical staff have a symbiotic relationship. They learn much from each other. Some hospitals do not have a mixed board but prefer to have physicians in the relevant committees. The board delegates actual immediate daily operation of the hospital to an administrator. Functions through committees. The board discharges its functions through different committees which may be ad hoc or standing committees. Executive committees. It takes decision to form ad hoc committees and task committees. It acts authoritatively in emergencies. It reviews specific and board reports before final ratification by the full board. It also reviews other committee reports. Joint Confirmed Committee. It is a combination of the representative of board and the clinical services with the administrator acting as its secretary. It is a license committee. Professional committees. It is responsible to the executive committee. It is made made up of select board members who study and make recommendations on all dimensions of clinical services. They work closely with the medical staff and administration. Their aim is to be upgrade the quality of health care. Finance Committee. It reviews the budget, financial statements and related problems. Other committee. Some are temporary and some permanent. They are formed depending upon the need and situations. These includes buildings, public relations and others. The administrator usually serves as an ex-office member of all committees of the board and should attend all the meetings. Organizational patterns of typical hospitals. Services directly and indirectly to the patient care are clinical services, nursing services, pharmacy services, dietetics services, supplies, and laundry services. Clinical services. Under clinical services come the immediate circle surrounding the patient. It involves the mobilization and concentration of professional and scientific resources dedicated to the restoration of the patient's health. The clinical services are preventive, diagnostic, therapies, and restorative. Clinical services cover medical, surgical, obstetrical, pathology, and laboratory, radiological, dental, medical records, dietary, and outpatients. Medical, general medical services. There are basic to any clinical activities and are departmented according to specialties. General diagnosis therapy, general medical and nursing care, pediatrics, psychiatric, neurology, cardiology, dermatology, pathology, enterology, blood bank, physical medicine, urology, communicable disease, epidemiology, tropology, disease, many aspects of related diagnosis, therapy, and complications of surgery, obstetrics, gynecology, ENT, and anthropedics, allergy glands, respiratory, GI, geriatrics, chronic disease, clinical research are also parts of general medical services. Pediatric physical medicine, rehabilitative services, and medical social services are important areas of patient care nowadays. Surgical services. Almost half the patients admitted to the hospital undergo an operation. Functions of the surgical department are the same as for other clinical services: prevention, diagnosis, therapy, restoration, research, and education. Larger hospitals are increasingly using full-time salaried chiefs of clinical departments. Professionally trained and experienced surgeons are given full surgical privileges, and those who are inexperiment inexperienced may be given limited surgical privileges. Qualified physicians serve as first assistants during surgery, while nurses and aides serve as second and third assistants. The operating room nursing supervisor directs the nursing staff and is responsible to the director of nursing services functionally and to chief of the surgical staff administratively. In most of the hospitals there is department of anesthesiology. The overall responsibilities is however of the chief of surgery and the chief of maternity services. The recovery after surgery is an area that is receiving attention. The physical facilities for operating room requires careful planning and equipping. Till recently, the Central Services Department was the focal point for processing, centralizing, and dispensing practically all operational equipments and supplies. The Central Department also was the central distribution center for the pharmacy and hospital storeroom. It had close interface with the surgical services. However, nowadays the pharmacy services have emerged as a separate department and even supplies such vitally essential commodities as large volume intravenous fluids. Besides regular medications, maternity services, hospitals deliveries have been accepted now all over. There should be good planning for the number of maternity beds. Maternity department includes nursing staff, maternity unit procedures, delivery unit procedures, hospital records, newborn infant care, identification of infants, premature infant services, infant feeding, infant records, etc. Pathology and clinical laboratory services. The practice of medicine these days is more and more depends upon laboratory examinations to facilitate correct diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of disease. Some diseases are diagnosed on the basis of lab reports. Example: diabetes, syphilis, blood disease, etc. Some diseases can be diagnosed early earlier due to lab facilities. Example: TB, cancer, etc. The control and treatment of some disease are aided by the laboratory. Example: anemia, infectious disease, etc. The lab reports help surgical practice. Example: urine analysis, RH typing, blood tapping, post-operative test, etc. Services directly and indirectly related to the patient care and housekeeping. Medical records, radiological services, outpatient services, inpatient services, emergency services. Purpose of medical records. Medical records are generally considered a boring job by the medical staff, but its importance cannot be overemphasized for the patient as well as the hospital. Medical records cannot be overemphasized for the patient as well as the hospital. Medical records serve as valuable reference material clinically and legally. They help the evaluation of hospital services. They can also be used for training, education, and research. Radiological services. Radiology is the diagnostic and therapeutic arm of the hospital. The service is placed under the direction of a competent radiologist. This department uses radiography and fluoroscopy. The radiologist is responsible to Chief of Staff for clinical policies and activities and to the administrator for administrative aspects. He is assisted by technologists. Physical facilities of radiology department should be properly planned. Emergency services. Emergency services, also known as ambulance services or paramedic services, are emergency services that provide urgent pre-hospital treatment and stabilization for serious illness and injuries and transport to definitive care. They may also be known as a first aid squad, fast squad, emergency squad, ambulance squad, ambulance corps, life squad, or by other initialisms such as emergency medical ambulance services. Medical staffs. There are many people who contribute to your care while you are in hospital. Numerous people and services work together to provide you with successful treatment in a hospital, from medical assessments and daily treatment to medication and catering. The key roles for staff in the hospital can be broadly categorized into four areas, being doctors, nurses, allied health professionals, support staff. All these people will play an important role in your treatment and recovery. Nursing services. Nursing is a vital primary need of the healthcare system of a hospital. It involves numerous activities ranging from general assistance to outpatient to the inpatient areas and wards, labor wards, and operation theatre. It is one of the largest and an integral part of the hospital, performing round the clock duty. Similarly to medical division, the nursing services has clinical specialties like medical, surgical, obstetrical, intensive care, etc. The administrator of these services is known as HOD or Superintendent of Nursing. The She is overall responsible for the activities of the department by virtue of her administrative ability. The responsibilities are summarized as 1. Coordinate with all other departments and allotment of nurses required in all the shifts, sending monthly reports regards regarding at the activities of her own services to the director of the hospital, Second, sending monthly reports. Third, maintenance, nursing records, and quality of services given to the patient. Fourth, looking after the needs of her department staff and arranging training programs for them, including fellow nurses. In case of ICU and ICCU unit, a specific number of nurses are posted. She attends to any individual patient, closely monitoring and handling sophisticated equipments. Apart from the above functions, nursing involves administration of medicine prescribed by the physicians to the inpatient. Importance of nursing services. Nursing is the only services which runs round the clock in a hospital for patient care. Therefore, the important can be summarized as for ambulatory patient, preparation for of case paper, guide to the patient, assistance to the physician for inpatients, patient care for operating patients. Hospital pharmacy services. It is responsible for compounding and dispensing medications on prescription, reviewing of prescription to prevent overdoses or toxic effects, selecting packages of pharmaceuticals companies, maintenance of records of each prescription dispensed. Dietetics services. The catering departments has a kitchen and food store and is responsible for supplying meals to the all inpatients of the hospital. Dietitian prescribes balanced diet as per the patient's calorific requirements and preferences. Laundry services. The department is responsible for buying, storing, issuing, delivering, collecting and washing of linen for use in the hospital. Housekeeping. The role of this section is to maintain overall cleanness of the hospital, removal of garbage, replacing of mattresses, supplies in washrooms and utility rooms. It also imparts in service training to housekeepers with the objective to maintain the hospital environment clean, attractive and comfortable to the patient. Supplies. Supply services serve for diagnosis, treatment, prevention. It also involves their collection, processing, storing and issuing them against an indent form. Qualified and skilled personnel are responsible for its maintenance. Summary: in this class, we discussed about organizational pattern of a typical hospital, various departments in a hospitals. Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.